Well, you might actually have an overrepresentation.
Hold on 1 second. It could be happening in jail. It could be happening in women's restrooms. Like, these kind of assaults happen all over the place. And it's like, for me, it's like, okay, I hear you say that you're a feminist, but it's like, I feel like a true feminist would really work to protect actual biological women from this whole situation being taken advantage of.
Assault is already illegal, though.
I'd like to add on to that.
Yeah, it's already illegal, but it's being made.
It's being
made easier. It's being made easier as a result of the direction that our society has gone in. And it's like, I feel, women who stand against this stuff, they call them TERFs, right? Trans exclusionary radical feminists. But it's like, I feel like there's nothing radical about it. I feel like a true feminist would actually work to protect her sisters when stuff like this is coming up.
Mr. Chase, may I add on to that? I just wanted to ask, how masculine in the face does someone have to be before you're uncomfortable in a bathroom with them?
What do you mean?
What was your question?
How masculine in the face does someone have to be before you yourself? I'm asking you.
Have you ever been in the bathroom with like a butch lesbian?
I have. I'm asking you.
Okay, but butch lesbian, like, by definition, present pretty masculinely, and yet
but
we
know they're women.
They're clearly still women.
I'd like for you to let me finish. I'm asking you personally, how masculine in the face does someone have to be before you yourself feel uncomfortable and unsafe in the bathroom with them?
I honestly wouldn't feel uncomfortable or unsafe in the bathroom unless if that person, and also this applies to cis women as well, unless if that person started trying to like interact with me some way in the bathroom, right?
If you saw Chase in the women's restroom, how would you react?
How would you react if you saw Buck Angel in the women's restroom? I think this is the issue, right?
Who's Buck Angel?
Is a trans man who's very masculine.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
But they have a vagina. I'm assuming. I don't think
I got to catch up on all this
Hulk
American
Hogan with a
insanity.
vagina in the bathroom. Would that not make you feel uncomfortable?
Andrew Tate did a very interesting video on this where he asked.
He did.
But it's like, if I saw Buck Angel in the men's bathroom, like, I'd be like, okay, like, whatever, I don't care.
Yeah, but
no,
I
but
can
if Buck
defend
Angel
myself.
was in the
Women
women's
You're saying
more
if you went into the
vulnerable
women's
than
restroom?
Yeah, well,
Women are more
surprisingly-
vulnerable than men, so
Yes.
it matters less who's going into the men's bathroom.
No. We're saying if you take Hulk Hogan and you give him a vagina, and then he enters a woman's restroom,
Respect his
when
pronouns.
you see them, you're gonna say like, "Oh my God, like that's a male or whatever," but you don't know they have a vagina. So the question becomes like a lot more like murky, or the answer to the question becomes a lot more murky, because you're saying like, oh, how masculine do they have to look before you're uncomfortable? But at the end of the day, they have a vagina, aren't they?
Because
Women,
if you
according
gave Hulk
to
Hogan
most of you
a
guys.
neo-vagina, he'd still be a man.
Yeah.
But I feel like
if you
saying
gave him
if
a
you-
vagina,
no,
but
okay,
giving him a
let's-
vagina via a sex operation, it's
if
not
you
an
have a
actual
woman,
vagina.
Refer to
if
him
you
as
have a
she,
woman
her,
who
please.
if you have a woman or somebody who was biologically born female, whatever, and they start injecting
I think that's the definition that we're looking for.
Okay. If you have a woman or like biologically born female, that's the definition you're working with, and they start injecting themselves with like steroids, start grinding, start working out, get
Testosterone.
surgery to get their boobs replaced, whatever. Now they're this like super muscular person that looks like a guy, and they go into the woman's restroom. Would that be okay with you guys?
No, probably not, actually. I don't think the female body is like ready to process those kinds of hormones. One of you also mentioned the butch lesbian. Have you seen the rates of domestic violence among those types of couples? I wouldn't frankly want them. Maybe they should have like their own bathrooms or something. Maybe it should be like an LGBT bathroom.
Yes.
I feel like
Third
the issue.
Third restroom.
Someone in the chat actually
Would you
claimed
say
that women
separate
are
but
not
equal?
vulnerable, which is absolutely insane.
Well, no. I think the argument is women are not necessarily vulnerable in bathrooms. There's not like this
They
epidemic.
are more vulnerable than men.
Wait,
in general.
hold on. Number one, there's not this epidemic of bathroom rapes. Okay, this is like a really fantastic scenario. Number one.
Grapes.
Number two.
Grapes.
Grapes. Number two. Okay.
That's it.
And I don't know if this is like an SNL skit or something, but like if a rapist is chasing you and you're a woman, it's not like running into the bathroom is going to protect you, right? So the idea that
Nobody
like,
was proposing that it would.
But if there is somebody
But
that wants
should
to,
this be considered socially acceptable?
it's just
It already
wait,
is.
Hold on, wait.
No,
I'm
it's
just,
not.
Wait, hold on.
It's not.
No, wait. In some
It's-
countries, okay, so like in Sweden, for instance, there's just bathrooms where everybody goes in and there's like
no,
an
like,
individual
gender
stuff.
anything.
Yeah, there's plenty of these places that exist. Nobody's out there graping everybody all over the bathrooms. It's not. This is like such a
Isn't
niche.
Sweden like the grape capital of the world?
Yeah,
It
Sweden,
is.
Sweden
It
and
is.
Germany
It is.
have
It is.
extremely
No.
Steve
high
Larson
rates.
wrote "Girl
They
with
have
the Dragon
extremely high
Tattoo."
rates.
That's because they have a more
That's
general
because
definition.
hold on. That's because in like 2013 they did a massive redefinition to open up what they considered grape.
2018.
2018
Compared to
on
other
terms of-
countries.
number one. But I'm just saying that like I think that there's a valid reason to talk about protecting women's spaces. I think there's a really good conversation to be had about like women's sports, but the bathroom example is one of the silliest, weirdest things that gets brought up constantly. There is not an epidemic of people getting raped in the bathroom, and if there was, a female sign with a dress is not going to stop a rape.
Why do women need to come up with a reason that they don't want men in the
Yeah,
bathroom with them, though?
It's
Why
also-
do they need a
it's-
specific reason like that?
no,
Why
no.
can't it just be
Okay, yeah.
If you
that they're
wanna-
uncomfortable?
At what
But
point-
wait, you don't. You're the one that's
Sorry.
pretending they need the reason. Because if you say,
No, I'm not.
You are, because if you say I'm uncomfortable with somebody being in the bathroom just because like I feel like the women's bathroom should be just for people with vaginas or whatever, that's a fine argument. You can start there. But when it's like I'm worried they're gonna assault me, motherfucker, someone's gonna
That's
assault
part
you.
of it, but it's certainly not
It's
all
not
of
part of
it.
it.
You
It's
you
not
are
part of it. I don't
correct
believe
with
that.
the assault aspect.
Well, wait, hold on, real quick, because I cut her off. What were you
Okay,
gonna say?
at what
Sorry.
point does someone else's comfort, at what point should that be prioritized over someone else's safety?
The problem is whose comfort, because we always talk about this on the woman's
Biological
side.
women's.
You say that, but so for instance, let's say that I'm a traditional father and I'm going to take my boy to the bathroom. Okay, let's say he's 6 years old, and then Blair White comes walking into the bathroom. You would defend that. You say, well, she's a biological male, but I might feel really uncomfortable if I'm a traditional male, if I'm a Christian
But
man.
as a man, you're far more able to protect yourself and your
No,
child than
hold
a
on,
woman is.
hold on. We're not talking about who's getting assaulted. I'm just saying in terms of comfort, because earlier you said it's just about comfort in the bathroom. So if I'm a traditional male, I'm a Christian man, and all of a sudden somebody like Blair White walks up to the stall and starts peeing in, and my 6-year-old son is there, and he's like, Dad, I didn't know women could do that. Well, what am I supposed to say? Now my comfort is being violated, right? So I feel like there has to be like a better middle ground here, other than like all trans people.
No, that's the point. You don't say my comfort is being violated, son. You say, son, that's a biological male, but he's pretending to be a woman.
Yeah, but that conversation is going to be really complicated.
Yeah, I don't think so.
Okay, but isn't
We
it
live in a
like-
crazy world, son. There's a lot
We've
of crazy
always
people.
lived in a crazy world, okay?
It's
Where-
getting crazier.
No,
There's
America's
no
at, I think
denying.
America's at all-time high craziness.
Yeah,
right
we're
now.
at like peak
If you think
crazy.
that we're at an all-time high, it just goes to show how good the country is. That the biggest problem you have are who's going into whose bathroom. Okay, like there are countries that are at war right now. There are multiple countries experiencing genocides right now, and there are tons of horrible problems around the world.
Yeah, but
If
that's
your
like-
biggest issue is who's
It's
going
not-
into the
it's-
bathroom that has a dick or not,
it's not
I think you're
the-
doing
Okay,
okay.
but
That's not
Let's
the
take it-
biggest
let's
issue.
take it
It's
into
just an issue that
underline-
came up.
What's the
Wait.
biggest issue?
No, let's take an extreme
What's the biggest issue in
example.
America? That's totally beyond the
I
scope
think
of this
homelessness
podcast.
on the
I'm
West
curious.
Coast is
I
an
mean-
extreme issue. That would be something that I would consider to be an extreme
It's-
issue.
it's a
Okay,
big
but this
issue.
is an
It's
issue
a big issue.
regardless. This
It's
is
a
an issue
problem.
regardless, and you're out here saying, "Oh, there's wars being fought." Well, that's not what's going on here.
Sure. Well, there are kind of
Well,
worse.
yeah, there
not
are
yet.
wars being
When I'm-
fought here,
Sure,
but in
I'm
this
just
Not
saying
yet.
that if you want to have a conversation about the bathroom, okay, I think it's valid to say I feel a little bit uncomfortable if there are people that clearly look like a man entering the bathroom, and there's a lot of trans people that agree with that too. I think that's a fine conversation, but when it goes into this very weird world of like, I think they're going to do these essays and these like all this stuff going on, like I don't think sexual assaults. I don't
Sure.
think that like that's a legitimate concern.
Sure,
I think
but
that's
I
something
think
people
Yet.
bathroom aside, I think it's
Yet.
a principle of it. I think the discussion is safety and whatnot. I think the bathroom has little to do with it. I think it's just a broad
Sure, and
statement.
again, you're like
It's the
saying
principle of
you're
it.
using but then you're agreeing with me.
It's a
I don't
principle
disagree
of
with
it.
you. Yeah, if you want to
Well, I
argue the
never said
principle,
I
you can argue the
disagree.
principle.
Well, I'm just
but don't
laying it out there.
fixate on like essays in the bathroom from trans
Well,
people.
no,
Let's-
you were the
no,
one
I
who's
think-
I think we
fixating
should-
on
I think
essays
so,
in the
yeah.
bathroom.
We're getting lost in the weeds.
I want
We're
to
getting
come
lost in the
back. I
weeds.
want to come back to. By the way, can I have everyone just scoot their cups into the table a little bit?
You were
OCD over here.
fixating on essays in the bathroom for the past
I think
5
we
years.
should
we're,
redirect.
Well, but that's-
we're gonna
it feels like
let's
it's
move on
let's
from
redirect
that.
the
So
conversation.
initially, what I was asking you two, when you contacted me, you said you both were feminists, and you kind of described a little bit about what that means. I suppose my question is, what do you believe in as a feminist, and chiefly, do you believe in the patriarchy theory?
Yes, I believe in the patriarchy. I believe that there's like historical examples of the United States being a patriarchy, and I still think that there are certain ways where it currently exists.
Uh-huh.